Hey everybody, I wanted to take just a few minutes to talk to you a little bit about 3 doubts or fears that you may have as you begin this new endeavor or this new leg of your Thin Within journey. Some of you may be, that was my dog's tail that just went by. Some of you may be new to Thin Within and some of you may be returning to Thin Within. Some of you may just be testing the waters to see if this is really what you want to do. Some of you may be going, what is Thin Within? Okay, whatever. There are usually 3 fears that people have when they begin a journey like this one. It's billed as a weight loss Bible study, okay? We're going to be renewing our minds, but I just want to expose some of those thoughts that we may be having as we begin this. The first one is a fear about how you're going to handle this, or a doubt in yourself. And you may be thinking, is this the right choice? Can I do this? Can I succeed? Will I fail yet again? Is this the right approach even? I don't know if it is. I always fail. I start strong and then just give up. Those are thoughts that may be assailing you. And they are common. And the thing is, we have to evaluate, do we want these fears and doubts to have the deciding vote in what we're going to choose to do? Let's not let doubt win, okay? I want to challenge you. Do you really want to let doubt win? How many times has doubt won before? And have you been glad about that decision to let doubt win? Or maybe it wasn't even a decision. It was just kind of a giving it up, letting doubt win. Let's be intentional. Let's reject the doubts and choose, I am going to think about this differently. Our first opportunity maybe to renew our minds is to reject the thoughts that I'm going to fail, I'm going to mess up, and what I do is going to totally ruin my life, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Instead, what is true? Here's the truth. God is at work doing a new thing. And he's also promised in Philippians that what he began, he's going to complete. He's also promised that he is a great redeemer. So everything that came before, he can redeem and use. You have never been in this place before with this batch of people to support you, with this particular study, with this amount of wisdom that you have from your previous experiences. You may be fed up with dieting. You may have gone to a Weight Watchers meeting this morning, and yet here you are. For some reason, there's something in you that is leading you to this path. And you've got to give yourself credit. That's pretty awesome that you have used that wisdom, that experience to make a decision to involve yourself in this study. You know, doubts keep our vision really small, and God is a big God, and he's at work in us. So our vision needs to get God-sized. So I want to challenge you with that. You may think that you can limit his working in your life, but he has greater things in store. That's something else you can renew your mind about. My God is sovereign, and he's powerful, and he's good. And when you take those things into account, he can accomplish a lot in my life. You know, here's another truth. In 1999, I began to pursue eating according to the cues of physical hunger and satisfaction. But it wasn't until 2006 when I actually strung together enough days to begin to progressively release the weight. And as you may know, by about 11 months later, I had released 100 pounds. I've been a healthy weight ever since. I'm not as low as I was then. I'm just being honest. That was probably too low. I think there was something about 100 pounds that I really wanted to latch onto. But I have been a healthy weight since that time, and it's 2013 when I'm making this video. So for me, that's a big deal. I had lost 100 pounds before, and I had gained it back within 9 months, okay? So if I can do that, I know you can. I mean, I'm not saying that to build myself up in front of you. That's not my point. My point is, I was a rebel. I was a mess, and I still am. But God worked in me through my failures, through my struggles. In fact, it was in 2000 that Judy Halliday, who is associated, she's the author of the Thin Within program, connected with me and asked me to work with her and with her husband on the Thin Within book. She was holding my hand daily as we put together the book and later on the workbook program. And even though I was in communication with Judy, the author of the program, I still didn't string together day upon day where I could see a steady release of weight. That's how rebellious I was. You couldn't possibly be any worse than I was. Okay, so I want to encourage you. If I can do it, anybody can, and I know you can. Another fear that you may have or doubt may come via the voices of people that love and care for you. We all have people who love and care for us, don't we? And a lot of times they care about our health, and they're concerned about our weight, and they want us to not have health problems associated with being overweight. And so when they see us trying something that they don't really agree with, they begin to verbalize their concern. Like, well, if you're going to lose weight, you really need to diet. You can't eat a cookie. I don't care if you're hungry. You can't eat a cookie. You're going to have fewer calories in and more calories out. You've got to exercise. You've tried this before, and it didn't work for you. Don't you remember? It didn't work for you. Okay, those people love you and care for you, but in their efforts to demonstrate their love and care for you, they too may limit you. And again, we don't want to let their doubt win. We know that our God has begun a good work in us, and He is going to complete it. These people may ask us, how do you expect to ever lose weight if you're not really going to diet? They may have even seen our failures before, but let's remember again that our God takes whatever came before and He redeems it. He brings it to bear in this moment. And in this moment, you have wisdom that He has brought to you through those false starts and stops, those steady goings and stumblings. And He has brought you that wisdom through those experiences. That is the very reason why you're even here now, I'd wager. Let's renew our minds about our need to have people agree with our approach. Do I need to have people agree with my approach to hunger and fullness eating, to losing weight, to being a healthy son? No, I don't. I've got my God's 100% approval. Whose approval do I need if I have His? That's just one way of renewing your mind about that. Sometimes as people pleasers, we might really want our families to be on board, and it's really hard when they don't seem to embrace the same approach. That's our cross to bear, perhaps, and we just need to allow God to renew our minds about that. It's okay if my husband doesn't agree with my approach. It's okay if my best friend wants me to keep chowing down with her and having a binge fest with her. I can say no to her. I can lovingly tell her I would rather do something else and make a suggestion, whatever it might be. Whatever doubts and fears come to you through the voices of others, I want to encourage you, take those thoughts captive, set them aside to obedience to Christ, and replace them with, what are God's thoughts about my eating, about my body, about whether I need their approval or their permission or not? What are His thoughts? That is another opportunity to renew our mind. God is doing a new thing. A third concern that you may have, you're going to doubt yourself perhaps and have fears based on that. You may doubt because other people are saying things into your life, so you may have doubts because of others or fears because of others. The third doubting that you may have is this process, the thin within process, the eating according to physical hunger and satisfaction. And I just want to encourage you, for probably it'll be 8 weeks, just try it. When you think of all the time that we've given to other things, other attempts, give this wholeheartedly. Give the Lord this time and just ask Him, Lord, I could do anything for 8 weeks. Could you please show me if this is the way you have for me? Help me to do this in a way that demonstrates I'm surrendered to you, that food is not what I'm going to bow before. I'm not going to bow before my taste buds. I'm going to wait on you. And then just try it. You know, like I said, it worked for me, 100 pounds and maintenance for the last six and a half years. That's huge. That's huge. And I know others that are just like that. And so I want to encourage you. This approach does work. We just have to be willing. Here's the thing. We have to be willing to learn how to do the struggle. Because, yeah, it won't, I don't think it will ever be easy. I'm sorry to break it to you. But I think we learn how to do the struggle. And it's kind of like running a marathon is never easy, even for somebody who runs a marathon every 3 months. That marathon is not going to be easy. It's not a walk in the park. but they learn how to do the training for it well. They learn how to do the marathon well. They learn how to do that struggle, that fight, that battle well. And that's what we want to do, is learn how to do the fight well, so that when we do struggle and fall, we get back up again and say, I will yet praise his name. Why am I so downcast? I don't need to be downcast, because God is my hope and strength. He is moving me. He has promised in Philippians 1:6, what he began, he will complete. So you don't need to doubt the approach. And you don't need to doubt your trainer. I've been through so much on this path that I would be more than happy to share with you any of the struggles that I have had and what I've learned from them. Hopefully you won't have to go through all of the same ones I've been through. That is my desire. And if you're not happy after 30 days, I'll give you your money back. Just kidding. I want to encourage you to trust in this process. Let's renew our minds. Okay, if you don't think 0 to 5 works, think about this for a minute. Did God create my body? Yeah. Is he reliable? He is. He created my body to have certain signals for certain bodily functions. Okay? We could use our imaginations to think of some of those, but one of them is hunger. Does it make sense that as I prayerfully submit my will to him, God, is this physical hunger that I'm experiencing right now? He will show me. So that is a truth. Thinking God's thoughts after him about 0 to 5 eating, God, you will show me if I stop and ask. And God, you will show me if I stop and ask about what 5 is or when I should stop eating. He will show you, okay? And he will empower me to stop as I look to him for that strength. Okay, that's really important. We want to look to him to teach us what 0 or hunger feels like. And we want to look to him to tell us when to stop eating. And we want to look to him for the strength it takes to obey. Because he's not going to make us obey. We've got to be willing to. And if we do those things for the next 8 weeks, you will see a transformation. But I believe the most important part of this whole process is going to be renewing of your mind. That's why I've mentioned it in each one of these 3 fears. Fear about myself and doubting myself. Fear about others and the way they're speaking fear into my life and doubt into my life. And fear about this process or about your trainer. Oh, that's me. Whatever. We have to renew our minds about each one of those things, those 3 things. It's common to have those fears and doubts. It really is. You don't have to wonder, well, am I just being weird? Am I unique? Am I strange? No. These thoughts, these doubts, these fears are common. So just choose to renew your mind about each one of them and spend some time with the Lord on each one of those things. And then dive in. And when the fears come back up again, renew your mind again about it. What is true in this? What is excellent? What is praiseworthy? What is honorable? What is good? The Philippians 4:8 test. If you have a thought that doesn't pass that Philippians 4:8 test, reject it and instead choose a thought about eating 0 to 5, about the keys to conscious eating, about yourself, about what others think of you for trying this approach yet again. Whatever it might be, renew your mind with the Philippians 4:8 test for whatever the thought might be. And those fears, those doubts do not have to win. They do not have to limit you. They do not. Trust me, I know. We don't have to be limited by those doubting thoughts that we have or that are spoken into our lives from others. Okay? It's my prayer that you will believe God, believe the truth that he has for you in this, and the vision that he has for your life. Yeah.